All right, so we're back with another video for you guys, another reaction video. So today we're going to be talking about CJ So Cool. Man, this guy is getting exposed from every direction, every angle. People are coming out of the woodwork exposing him. I'm talking about people in his circle, people outside of the circle, girls. It is crazy, folks. Every time I turn on YouTube and I just put in CJ So Cool, it's like another news story. Another person comes out with receipts talking about him, somebody on another channel talking about him. I mean, we heard about Bandman Kev on this other person talking about I guess him cheating on royalty or something like that. But now shout out to BSC TV. He was actually live last night, and he had a guest on the show, and her name is Rowland Watts, and apparently she had an encounter, or should I say several encounters, both in person and on I think on Instagram, and she dropped a lot of receipts, a lot of information. So we're gonna listen to what she had to say and react to it, and this is again based on what she's providing.
And everything, you know, I be so extra.
Hey, Raylan.
Hey,
How
how
are
are you?
Good.
I just walked in the door, y'all.
Okay, you look good.
Okay, so
Girl.
hey, now, but hey, how you say you meet the Kool-Aid man? Hey, I'm gonna get y'all help, folks. I don't even know.
Okay, so basically we had all went out. I actually know the guy that owns Maximus Tax. He's a big time tax guy out here that owns a bunch of different tax offices and all that.
Mm-hmm.
TJ's old bodyguard knows me or whatever, because I be in the mix, and I really don't be in the mix, but I be in the mix just because everybody knows, every rapper, every athlete out here, they know that I own the Airbnbs. So I've been an Airbnb superhost since 2016. I own 2 homes in different states. And so a lot of people come to me if they want a rental. I don't do real estate, or anything like that. But because I've been having the Airbnbs and I've been a superhost, a lot of people want to link with me on the Airbnb thing, making money and all that,
Okay.
So she is attractive and she's a businesswoman. So definitely 2 good qualities. This is her TikTok. I think she also has Instagram. She has other social media profiles. So I gotta admit, she's definitely way more attractive than Lexi. So I can understand why, according to her, CJ So Cool would want to approach her, because not only is she successful, but she also is attractive. So she's got all the good qualities, folks.
December, so my boyfriend Maximus Tax was let's go out. We're gonna go out with 32 gang and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm kind of they're thirsty. I really don't want to take my girls over there. But I was kind of okay, I'll take my girls or whatever. Let's go out. Let's do it. So we all went out and we had a section. At this particular time, TJ was I really don't drink. He's always been oh, I don't drink, da-da-da-da. But he really does drink. And then he'll be oh, I don't smoke. He was really trying to be on his good boy stuff. He had on some black and white striped designer piece of trash, and he was super flashy, and all my girls.
She said he had on a piece of designer piece of trash on. Damn, that's crazy. You know how CJ be flashing, and this is what I told you guys. Stop getting fooled by CJ So Cool, and stop getting fooled when it comes to buying his merch. That man could care less about you guys. I haven't seen him recently wearing his shoes, but he was wearing his shoes all the time while promoting it. And then as soon as it was sold out, according to his mom, she said it was sold out. Then he stopped wearing the shoes, and now he's wearing actual brands. So you guys are getting fooled, man. And it's not like it's actual kids. I get it if it's kids, because kids are easily fooled because their brain hasn't fully developed. So this whole social media psychological brainwashing really works on them. But when you see, I'm talking about grown men, grown women, fathers, mothers with careers. Some of them have YouTube channels. Some of them have 6 kids, and they're getting fooled by buying these shoes. It's come on, man. You guys are a bunch of idiots. I get it, you're trying to support them, but if you're continually buying these overpriced, useless, I'm talking about useless, all right? These things don't have secondary markets. You can buy a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton or a Burberry handbag or any kind of product, really, when it comes to those brands, and say you don't like it after a month or 2 or 3 months or a year later. you can actually resell that stuff. It's just like buying a car. If you don't like the car, you can resell it. But buying these clowns merch is useless, because let's say you're not really into that shoe anymore. You don't want it anymore. You can't get rid of it. You might put it on eBay, probably get like $10 for it, because nobody really cares about CJ So Cool. And he doesn't really care about you guys. He just needs you guys to buy this shit. But on the other hand, she's an actual businesswoman with actual properties that she's renting on Airbnb, according to her.
Girls really get money, so they're not really into that, because they're like lawyers, PAs, and doctors. So you really can't hit them with the flash stuff, because they're like, oh, well, if he's so flashy, then he really broke, you know?
Right.
Because they be like, where you live at? Oh, I live in South Lake. Oh, I own a house out here. He was like, oh, you're kind of young and you own a house. I'm like, honey, I don't own one house. I own...
Damn, he don't own no damn house. CJ be renting these houses. That house is not his, folks. I mean, he already exposed himself. I mean, you guys already know when he, that new property that is in, when he actually went outside, he showed you guys the mailbox. I mean, there were several times throughout his videos recently that you can tell where he lives. I mean, it's not incredibly hard to figure it out. And then also Lexi exposed him a few times. His brother also recently exposed him when he went live on YouTube walking around to the basketball court. It's just like, these dudes don't know what they're doing. Like, these are fake ass influencers. They have no clue what they're doing. They don't really bring any real value to their supporters and subscribers, other than just fooling you guys and buying these merch. And then you would think they would be smart enough to reinvest the money into something that would actually generate some kind of passive income, but they just go out there and buy even other, like, well, actually they're buying brand names, but the brand names are not going to generate passive income for them. This is why CJ has to continually take loans out. It's like, dude, with all the money you made on YouTube this amount of years, you could have easily reinvested that money. Like, he must have like a terrible team around. Like, do you have any financial advisors, anyone providing you? I guess not, because it seems like everybody now is like exposing him left and right. People in his own inner circle, folks. It is crazy.
2 houses and 6 Airbnbs in 3 weeks.
Talk to him.
And so he was like, yeah, I'm really impressed. I want to get to know you. And I was kind of like, I got a man or whatever. Like, I got a man, baby. I'm taking, like, I really don't be in the scene. He's like, I never seen you out here. I never seen you with 32 Gang. And I said,
So he was flirting with a woman that was already in a relationship. And he's already, like, a social media figure. So, I don't know. That's like a recipe for disaster. That's just asking for trouble. Why would you go to somebody that's clearly in a relationship? So you think if her partner finds out, like, they can't find you? Like, I mean, clearly the people that invaded your house recently, I mean, I guess they weren't really intended on going to his house, because they're actually really just invading people's houses in general. But I don't think I would go in that direction too. Somebody tells me I'm already in a relationship, I already got a man, and she's already somewhat like of a social media. She has like some kind of social media influence or presence. So, and he's already really popular. CJ So Cool is pretty popular. So you're asking for trouble. Like, I don't know why they put themselves in a position for trouble like that. But this is according to her. So she could be not telling the truth. Who knows?
He won't see me, because I really don't come outside like that. Not unless it's like a gala or like an event. We have something out here in Texas called the Margarita Ball. And so that's a big event where millionaires and billionaires go to this event, the Margarita Ball. So I go to stuff like that. That's very, very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So this little club that we were at, it's the same club that Royalty hosted Thrive. It's a Saturday night spot. It's kind of like super ratchet. It's an 18 and up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the shoot 'em up bang bang. It's not in the best part of town. Yeah. But it's in the part of town where it's considered downtown. So, people go downtown to party or whatever. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so he was just doing the most. He was like, oh my God, you're so successful. You drive really, really nice cars. Everybody speaks so highly of you. I talked to a couple of people about you. And he was just overly thirsty. So off the rip, he was just like, oh, I want to get in the Airbnb. I want you to show me how to do it. Da 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 da. Just everything that I always hear.
Okay. So, again, if you guys don't know, I mean, we kind of said it. She's a businesswoman. According to her, she has Airbnb properties. But that also goes to show you that some people out here could be just like living a fake lifestyle. Anybody can get, like, you don't have to go out and buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a mega mansion. You can just rent everything and put on a certain image. I mean, at that point, you can only keep it up for a certain amount of time. And that kind of leads me to believe that some of these other YouTubers, every time they move around, like every couple months, that should be like a red flag. Because if you are successful, like really successful, like look at people like Manny Koshman. All right, he's a YouTuber. In case some of you guys don't know, you can check him out. He has a hyper car collection, like a $30-40 million car collection that he never changes. All right, I mean, he might move a couple cars here and there when they appreciate in value or they're worth a little bit more than what he got them for. Like, at that point, it's just like artwork and assets. But his house, he's been there like probably like a long time. I don't know how long, but it's probably been several years. But when you look at all these other YouTubers that want to put on this flashy image and show their jewelry and their cars and I guess how much they can spend at all these designer stores, like, how come they're moving every couple of months? And how come the furniture isn't looking the same in every single house? It's just like things like that are red flags. So you can't really, I don't know why people truly respect these like influencers, because these guys are like, they're really just fooling you guys. Some of them might be like providing some value, like in terms of entertainment to you, but most of the time it's just a bunch of bogus baloney bullshit. You're really not, I don't even think it's entertaining at this point. It's just really all drama at this point. And the fact is that he's been pretty much bashing royalty. I think at this point it's karma. It's actually finding its way back to him. And now you got people like around him or used to be around him, people in his circle, girls that he encountered or girls he tried to have a conversation with, coming out of the woodwork, exposing him. And this is probably going to be just the start, folks. When people realize, oh, now is the time where I can get some clout, everybody's going to be coming out. I'm talking about like as soon as I put in CJ So Cool into YouTube, it's like left and right. I'm like, damn, this is getting hot now. Like he's probably hiding right now because he's probably worried that, you know, some of the people in his circle probably know his top secrets or whatever, and they're probably going to come out. Like, you got to think about that stuff. Like Bandman Kevo, I think Bandman Kevo unfollowed him. So this is like an interesting time, and he probably shouldn't have went so hard on royalty because, like I said, karma will find its way back. When he was bashing royalty like that, talking about, you know, what he talked about, we're not really going to get back to it because I'm not really trying to talk about that negativity, but somehow it found its way back. Now that his Lexi and that perfect relationship fell apart, like something ain't adding up.
And so then, you know, so he started texting me. He's like, oh, you know, I'm going to get your number from my boys. So all of a sudden I get a text out the blue. He texts me like, oh, you know, we met last night, da-da-da-da-da. And I had already told him, like, I have a man. So then he finds my Instagram from his old bodyguard, quote unquote. He starts sending me messages on Instagram.
So at this point, it sounds like she made it clear, hey, I already have a boyfriend. I already have a partner. And it sounds like she didn't even give him, this is according to her, I mean, you guys are listening to it, I'm just reacting to it. It sounds like she didn't even give him her number. He got the number through other means. And then she had to tell him again, hey, I'm not interested. I already have a man. So at that point, he's just asking for trouble. Any person that finds himself in this kind of predicament, you're just asking for trouble. And why would you want to put yourself in this kind of position if this is true? Like, that especially if you're like a social media figure, are you like asking for, well, I guess some people do it because all publicity is good publicity. So even if people expose them, I guess that's good, but it's bad at the same time because people get a bad understanding of who you are. So I don't know, I guess people will value it completely different.
And like liking every single video I posted because it was like a couple of weeks from New Year's. So like when New Year's came, he was following me. He was following me for a while, and then like he unfollowed everybody on Instagram to like 20 people. But for a long time he was following me, and then kind of like when I kept like kind of craving him, you know, he didn't hit me up no more. So
okay,
you know, but you know he's gonna do the most. Like he's gonna lie. He's gonna, you know, da 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 da. Oh, you drive a G-Wagon, I drive a G-Wagon too. Oh, really? Oh, you
Yeah,
have a
he
Maserati, I have a Maserati,
and,
I have a Lamborghini truck, everything, you know, just to pop shit.
and he definitely wasn't gonna understand. Like, damn, she done pulled up on Boy Stop Cabin TV, and this nigga drive a '96.
Yeah,
Got to
right,
be
right.
more
And
careful.
like my cars, you know, like my main focus.
Folks, let me give you guys, because you see a lot of YouTubers now. You see all these like social media folks driving Lamborghinis, Ferraris. Let me give you guys a real reality, all right? Anybody, I wouldn't say anybody, but you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to drive these cars, folks. Like a Huracan, I had a Huracan before I upgraded that car. And the Huracan was around probably like $1,700-$1,800 a month. All right, now that might be a lot of money to a lot of people, but it's not a lot of money in terms of like you got to be a millionaire. Like you got to be making like $500,000 a year to afford that. Like $2,000 is not a lot. All right, and you can probably lease it for much less depending on how much mileage you want. So a lot of these cars are much more attainable now. And then if you get them used, they hold their value pretty well. So like you're not really losing money. It's just a good way to park your money and enjoy the car for whatever it's worth. Now, some people don't really care about cars, but don't get so hyped up. Oh, this guy, this YouTuber has this car, has that car. No, like regular, you can, if you make like $10,000 a month, shit, if you make like $8,000 a month, you can afford one of these exotic cars. Like you don't have to be making like hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s per month. All right, it's just wanted to give you guys some perspective. And even if you can't finance it or whatever, you can rent these cars. Like there's platforms like Turo where there's people like literally renting out their cars for less than $1,000. So it's like it's not like as hard as it used to. Like before, you know, it was hard, incredibly hard to get these cars or attain these cars, but now they make it pretty easy. Like a lot of like the entry-level Lamborghinis and Ferraris, they're all over the used car market. So don't get fooled by all the cars. Oh, he's got this, he's got that, so he must be rich. Now that could be a fake-ass image. Especially you can rent an Airbnb. You can put on a nice image like that.
Gotta wait. So like people already know, you know, they're like, okay, Raylan Watts, you know, she been in the game for a long time because I really have. So I'd be like, come on, bro. It's not nothing that I haven't already. It is so whack to me. It's just the overly thirst was just so whack to me. When it was just too thirsty for me, you know.
Okay, so can you tell me who else was thirsty?
So it was all 32 game. Bake was there. You know, one of my girls was actually like messing around with Bake at some point. I know like he works at a shoe store in like Arlington, Texas or something. Or he does something with the
Bake was there.
He was there. Yeah, he was there. It was everybody from 32 gang. Like there was a lot of money being thrown. There was a lot of ratchets. Like they really hang out with kind of like the bottom feeder girls of Dallas. So like the dancers.
Didn't I tell you guys this? I think I told you guys, like it seemed like all the girls that I wouldn't say like all of them, but a good majority of the girls like the 32 gang hangs out with, they're like a bunch of 1s, 2s, and 3s. Like it's rare. Like I don't think I've seen this girl Raylan Watts on CJ on 32s. I mean, I've probably seen 1 or 2 girls that might be like decently attractive. Like Brittany's probably the most decently attractive girl that CJ on 32s has hung out with, or I guess has a relationship with of some sort. But the rest of the other girls, they're just like ratchet. They look like 2s and 3s. I don't even think 3, might be like 1 or 2. Like she said, bottom feeders.
Girls that sell cat, the girls that kind of like, you know, live in a budget suite or live with their homegirl and try to be acting like they high shit. You know, they wear the see-through shoes from Amazon type girls. Oh. Like, why is you wearing $10 shoes from Amazon? Like, I know it was Prime Day today, girl, but settle down.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, and we came, like, Chanel'd out, red bottoms, you know, just shit like he is obviously not used to. Because, like, when I rolled up with my girls, one of my girls is a lawyer. One of them, she is a big realtor in Dallas, but she's not a regular realtor. She's a commercial realtor. Not like Lexi. She's actually like a real realtor. You know?
Damn, she just took a shot right at Lexi. Whoa, she said her friend is a real realtor, not like Lexi. So that means Lexi's a fake ass realtor.
Wait, hold on, wait. You said my favorite name. You know Lexi?
I know Lexi because I've seen her bumming around Miami. So I have two.
Whoa, she said she was bumming around Miami. Damn, I gotta replay this part again.
She's actually like a real realtor. You
Oh,
know?
wait, hold on, wait. You said my favorite name. You know Lexi?
I know Lexi because I've seen her bumming around Miami. So I have two Airbnbs in Miami. I have one in Hollywood, Florida. That's on South Ocean Drive. It's in a penthouse. And I have another Airbnb in Florida in Sunny Isles Beach.
Boy, Stop Capping TV exclusive. So, okay, so what do you mean like bumming around?
Because she was like one of those little birdie girls that didn't really have a car, that was always like trying to get into the club. So she's always trying to like fat up with like CEO Shake and like the niggas in Miami that actually own the clubs and the restaurants that really get money out there. You know what I'm saying? So like when she would go down to Miami, you know, I would see her with Kevo and them, but you know, being with Kevo is bad for your MO because it's kind of like he be with the girls that's always like either selling pussy or they're like the girls that are like the bottom feeder ones.
He's with the bottom feeders. Kevo's definitely always with the bottom feeders.
Right. So he's not gonna.
Damn. Well, at least Kevo, the girls he hangs out with, that they look decently more attractive than the 32 gang girls. Like the 32 gang girls, like I don't know where in the world they find those girls. Like I can't believe they found them in Texas. They must have went to the shittiest strip club in Texas to get these girls. Like some of them, not all of them. A few of them actually look decently attractive. They might still be from that area, but it's like one or two of them. Like you can probably count them all on one hand. But at least Bandman Kevo, like at least the ones that he's posted on IG and like posted videos with, at least they look decently attractive.
Even like any like really, really successful paid girls, like even if they're like rappers, like you're not gonna see him with any girls that are really doing anything with their life. Like they're not gonna have degrees, they're not gonna have plaques on the wall, they're not gonna have like they sleep on an airbed and have a white refrigerator.
Facts. So okay, so with the Lexi situation, like you said that she was just trying to figure out like what I can't. You said what nigga? You said she was just trying to fuck with niggas who was getting bread, like the club promoters and shit like that.
Right, like the club owners, the club promoters, the niggas that's actually like really, really get into the bag. You know, she would want to be in that circle. It kind of gave me like pick me vibes. Like she reminds me of one of those dusty white girls that are not really that cute. That is just.
That's exactly like what she just described is exactly how I felt about Lexi. Like Lexi is like, she's nothing special. She might have some decent looks, some physical attributes, but she's really nothing. Like if you actually saw the car, I mean, like again, I mean, we can say people can rent cars, but she drives like a bummy ass Audi. Like it's like an outdated Audi that's probably like got to be a couple years old. Like if you were such an upper class girl, at least get yourself like a Bentley or something like that, or a Mercedes or something like that. If you were hanging out with CJ So Cool, he could have upgraded your car, but whatever. But I just don't get, I mean, real estate wise, you can look her up. She doesn't have a lot of like recent sales. In fact, I don't even think she has any sales, because I actually looked on Zillow, but again, it could be on other platforms. There could be other means of finding her if you really wanted to explore it and dig deeper. But where I looked, the couple websites I looked, it doesn't look like she had a whole lot of recent sales. So I kind of get the same vibes, like the way she's describing her. Like she's got to be like one of them bummy ass white girls that just wants to hang out with certain people that might have some money. But I don't think she has money of her own, and if she does, it's probably not a whole lot. That's just kind of like the vibes I'm getting. Like she doesn't come off as a successful, high value woman. She might try to put on that kind of image, but I don't see it. You don't get that vibe out of her, if that makes sense.
Boy, Stop Capping TV.
But she's like pick me vibes, you know, pick me, like one of those types.
Okay, so Is it safe to say allegedly that Lexi may have sold a little cat while she was walking
I
around?
keep I kept like I keep hearing that about her. I really don't know anything about her. Like I'm not from Las Vegas. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not from Vegas at all, but I did graduate from UCLA, so I lived in LA for a long time. So any
Mm-hmm.
girl that automatically claims LA, I'm like, okay, well, who do you know? You know, if you're in the club scene or if you're, because it's a very, very first of all, Hollywood and just like LA in general is very, very small. So when
Right.
you start to lie in it, oh, I know this person and that person, and then all I have to do is text him, you know, hey, what's up, da 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 da, what's up with this person? They don't even know that girl at all. Like, I don't know
Okay.
anybody in LA that even follows her like that. You know what I'm saying? And I went to high school and college in California.
Okay. So the things you heard about her being a carpet walker basically, but you never like witnessed her like, but you know the type of dudes that she was with, like they only hang around like thoughts.
Yeah, right. Like the bottom feeder girls that don't have a car because I kept hearing like she doesn't have a car. She lives with her mom. Da 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 da. Da. So like I've heard about her, but I don't personally like know her. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
she's not even in my circle. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
all the girls that I fuck with really get money. Like they're either like you know some of them.
So how the hell did CJ find her then? It's like, where in the world did CJ So Cool find her? Like, where did he bump into her? Because we heard all kinds of stories. He says that D-Lo, I guess, said that, I guess, presented her to CJ to be his assistant or something like that, something along those lines. But then we also heard that she was on some show where somebody was gonna be CJ's next girlfriend or something like that, and she apparently was the freakiest one on there. Like we heard all kinds of stuff, so I don't know exactly where did she originate from. Like how did CJ meet her? Because like I said, I don't get the impression of her as a high value woman. She might, like some people might look like a high value person, but they just don't have the how should I say, like they don't have the resume for it. Like if she said she did real estate, well, you can look up real estate. She doesn't have like a huge sales record, and it could be because I only checked a couple of different websites. I didn't check all the websites, so I could definitely explore it. But you would think like if somebody did real estate, they would be on all platforms. It's just like if you looked at a social media influencer like CJ So Cool, he's on all social media platforms because that's his thing. If he was just on YouTube, then that means he really isn't, like social media is his like primary career. It's not his primary like bread and butter. But if somebody says I'm doing real estate, usually they're on all platforms and they have some kind of sales record on all platforms, things like that. So some things like that, I was like that. Those are like red flags. Like what exactly does she do? Because it doesn't seem like real estate is really it. It could be like one of the income generators for her, but she's probably doing something else. I don't know about the carpet shit because I really can't find anything carpet related. That must be like some underground crap. But who knows?
Like NBA wife, basketball wife, like they really living it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. This definitely giving me 10 out
They're
of
a
10 vibes. Okay.
realtor, you know, they're like a college professor,
Okay.
like those
Okay.
type of
Okay.
girls.
So with Lexi being a realtor, okay. So do you know her as a person that has sold homes?
No, she's never sold one home, I can tell you that.
Oh,
She has not even finished her real estate course. I think
Mm-hmm.
she passed like 30 hours or something. She
And,
said
and,
that she
and,
got to
and, she,
even do
and
it.
she did reference something like that about finishing it on her Instagram the other day. She referenced something about.
Because she doesn't really have a license. She was going through like a mentorship program. So like say you want to be a realtor or
Mhm.
say she was an apprentice. That's what it is. She basically
So according to her, Lexi never sold real estate. So if she didn't sell real estate, then what the hell has she done? All right. So you're in like mid 20s. Like I could probably say she's probably mid 20s. So what in the world have you done? You just hang out a bunch of guys leeching off of like, I guess some successful, I guess CJ might have been the most successful she's probably been around. So that's what she does, is she just leeches around guys, I guess, for money or whatever. Like what exactly is her thing? Because like at least this girl is like a Airbnb. She's like a businesswoman of some sort. I mean, you could try to debate it and be like, well, she might have some investors that she's like managing their money, and or it could be like properties that already belong to investors and she's managing, but at least she has something going on. She has some kind of career going on. What exactly does Lexi do? Because it sounds like real estate ain't really it. It sounds like real estate might be just a cover up.
He's like an apprentice. So they're basically like mentoring her. They're letting her get access to the homes to get in them, to kind of get her, feet under the wind, to figure out like how to do it, what to say to the people. But no, she was never a realtor, no.
Okay, because I definitely want to know about that, because I knew she was pump faking on that realtor shit, because I already knew that.
No, she's definitely not a realtor. Absolutely not.
Right. So what you know about Bad Man Kevo? What about him? I know he hangs around.
I always hear that he's a scammer. Stay away from him. Don't lay your social security card around him. Don't leave none of your wallet, no physical information.
Well, I don't know about leaving my social security card with anybody, let alone Bad Man Kevo. Like who would just leave their social security card laying around for anybody? So
like, don't leave your iPhone, because all of your Apple stuff is going to be linked, your cards, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't leave the American Express around him,
Right.
I'm always hearing like CPN, like they do a lot of, that's the thing with even these house rentals. A lot of people do CPNs, so they can squat in them for like a month or two, but then they're going to get put out.
Okay, so do you know Ray, Boy Stop Capping TV?
Ray, who is Ray?
That's Lexi friend. She's the one that allegedly brings CJ around all the people with all the money. She's basically a high-end carpet girl. Like that's how I look at it. I think.
See, I don't know a lot about the carpet circle, so like I probably see her face. Like if you show me her face, I'll probably see her face, but like I don't know a lot about the carpet circle.
Right.
The carpet circle?
Right. Yeah. So
that's kind of like not my thing. Like if it's a girl that's like really doing like real estate and really doing like has like real Airbnbs that goes to the seminar that actually gets the awards, then yeah, that might be something different. Because like I've been a super host since 2016. I got receipts, I got reviews, I got, I've been on the first page of Airbnb since 2016 with all of my properties.
Okay, that's good shit. That's definitely good shit. Who else I was going to say? So what else? I was going to ask her something.
All right, yeah. So I mean, she said a lot, folks. Damn. So it sounds like Lexi isn't really doing real estate, but CJ kept boasting her up to be a real estate person. And I always thought about it, I was like, because when you do real estate, you got to be presentable. Not always, but it's a good thing, especially if you're selling high-end homes. Like when I got my couple properties, like the person that came to my, the realtor, that person was driving a Bentley Bentayga. If you guys don't know, it's like the SUV. So it makes you think, oh, this guy actually knows what he's doing, actually is going to take time to understand what I want, my preferences. But if you show up in an old bummy Audi, I'm going to think, like, especially for me, I'm going to think maybe you're new, and I don't want somebody new. Like, I don't know. It's different. Like, people have different criteria. So I never really, the real estate piece just never really clicked for me. Really didn't think that she really did real estate. She might have like been around a real estate business, maybe friends, maybe her mother. We really don't hear about her father. So I don't know exactly what he does. Maybe she's a spoiled girl, who knows? But real estate, to what capacity is she doing? Or is she just showing off homes, like booking appointments, like a receptionist, a secretary, things like that? And why would somebody that was doing real estate successfully would want to be CJ So Cool's assistant? Like, I can't imagine CJ So Cool is going to pay his assistant more than how much a realtor would make in Vegas selling like $2-3 million properties. You know what the commission off of those properties is? Probably as much as she would earn an entire year working with CJ So Cool. I mean, look at D-Lo. D-Lo isn't really like making big boy money like that. So I don't know. Things like that just didn't quite add up for me. So, I mean, Rowland Watts, definitely go check out BSC TV. not really going to play the rest of it, but if you guys want to go check it out on his channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. He's always live every single evening, so definitely check it out and join in. You might learn a thing or two, but it's pretty entertaining to watch at the end of the day. But that's all I got to say. That's just my opinion, folks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching.